ValveTime.net.
Hi, and welcome to the ValveTime News. Each week we'll bring you the biggest talking points regarding Valve and the community. Now, the news. As part of the celebrations for the Dota 2 International 3 tournament, the development team invited members of the Dota 2 subreddit down to Valve for a tour. During the tour, Dota 2 subreddit founder ReaverXI took a number of photographs of the Valve offices, including new merchandise, planning documents for the tournament venue, and the Dota 2 workstations. One particular photo, however, shows the computer monitor of Valve developer Daniel Jennings, which features an update changelog on an internal network. The changelog includes updates for Dota 2, Steam, game websites, and most interestingly, Source 2. The list, which is currently being shown, features a total of 11 changes for Source 2 from a 2 to 3 hour period on Monday afternoon. A number of these changes feature clear references to the development of Left 4 Dead 3, including updates regarding dev test levels uploaded by developer Ted Carson. Several of the references are currently being shown on screen, and while there isn't anything necessarily revealing about this new information, it does show us that Left 4 Dead 3 is most likely still in the early alpha stages of development, as it seems that the team are still relying on dev test levels, rather than actual in-game assets or environments. While this information isn't particularly important by itself, it does provide us with further confirmation for the development of Valve's upcoming Source 2 engine and the previously leaked Left 4 Dead 3, both of which were found on the internal Jira project network several months ago. For those of you wondering about Valve's other titles, the list also includes 15 updated references for Dota 2, 4 for Steam, over 17 for Valve's websites, and 0 for an unknown 5th project which does not appear to have been updated in the time before the photograph was taken. And no, Half-Life 3 is unfortunately nowhere to be seen on the list, although we should remind you that this small changelog is hardly an accurate representation of everything currently being worked on by Valve, especially when you consider that these changes are from a short 3-hour period shortly before the start of Valve's biggest tournament. As always, we'll be sure to let you know if and when we hear more about Source 2, Left 4 Dead 3, or any of Valve's other currently unrevealed projects. Returning viewers may remember back in December 2012 when we reported on Valve's acquisition of a small indie studio in San Francisco, known as Starfield Studios, which is run by ex-PopCap and Blizzard employees Jeff Gates and Todd Semple. We've recently come to learn that Valve's small San Francisco office was closed late last month after a number of months experimenting with concepts for casual games. After we broke the news, Todd spoke to IGN regarding the office closure, confirming that he and Jeff are working on indie games again, and that they have been working for Valve in a remote office in San Mateo. It turned out that there weren't many benefits for either side in the arrangement. While studio closures are never good news for the industry, Todd also confirmed to IGN that he has returned to making indie games with Jeff in their recently founded Temple Gate Games studio, which is located in the old office building, as Valve had provided them with the studio location following the closure. Todd's quote also notes that he and Jeff are continuing to work on a game the pair were previously designing for Valve during their ownership of the studio. All 3 employees, which includes ex-Valve designer Steve Desilets, have experience with mobile applications and casual games, so we can assume whatever game Todd is referring to is quite possibly some form of mobile game for smartphones or tablets. While Todd and Jeff are working together once more, Steve Desilets has turned down an offer to move and join Valve's main studio in Bellevue, Washington. We'll be sure to let you know if we learn more about Valve's San Francisco activity, but it is more than likely that this will be the last we hear from Valve regarding what is now known as Temple Gates Games. Of course, we wish Todd and Jeff the best of luck in their future at their new studio. Earlier this week, a Steam beta client update arrived and introduced several changes to the service, including major updates to the Big Picture Mode UI and the inclusion of saved user logins. While the functionality is still in beta and is currently restricted to Big Picture Mode only, Steam users can now store multiple user logins on a single machine, allowing for quick transitioning between accounts. Previously, Steam users would have to input usernames and passwords every time they wish to change accounts, a practice which is no longer necessary thanks to the new Big Picture Mode login screen currently shown on screen. This kind of additional functionality is most likely preparation for Valve's Steam Box, which we can only assume is still in active development. If you're looking to try out the new features included with this update, select the Steam Beta Update in the Beta Participation drop-down box on the Account tab of your Steam settings. If you feel like you haven't had your Half-Life fix for this last week, you may want to check out CorridorDigital's new Geek Week live-action fan film, which follows Alex Vance as she attempts to repair a damaged gravity gun while being hunted by the Combine. At just over 4 minutes, the film isn't exactly the longest live-action Half-Life film ever made, but it is definitely worth a watch if you're looking for a high-quality short created by people who clearly understand and respect the source material. The film is also worth checking out if you're interested in some impressive CGI, including the appearance of a Combine gunship, an anti-gravity sequence, a strangely realistic version of Eli Vance, and more. In merchandise news, Valve statuette partner GamingHeads have revealed their latest figurine, this time themed after the fan-favorite murderous turrets from the Portal series. The Starburst turret, which was revealed earlier this week, features one of the playful color schemes originally shown off in the Turrets trailer for Portal 2. The turret stands at an impressive 16 inches tall and can now be pre-ordered for $324.99 from GamingHeads' online store. The figures are limited to only 350 units worldwide, all of which are set to ship sometime in Q4 of 2013. This new model follows GamingHeads' previous Series 1 turret, which was released late last year and was sold out shortly after the pre-orders opened, so we highly recommend you head on over to get your Sunburst turret order in as quickly as possible to avoid missing out. You may have noticed that we recently released a new ValveTime review for Research and Development, a puzzle-oriented mod for Half-Life 2 Episode 2, originally released back in 2009. For this week's discussion, leave a comment below letting us know what game or mod related to Valve you would like us to review in a future video. You never know, we might find some interesting suggestions which may influence our decision. An annotation link to the full video review will appear on screen in a few moments if you're looking to check it out. We have also included links in the video description to every topic we talked about in this week's episode, including write-ups on ValveTime.net, external websites, and much more. Don't forget to stay tuned to Dota2.com to find out more about the International 3 tournament, which concluded with the grand finale on Sunday, 11th August 2013. It was quite the duel, and while we aren't going to mention any of the winners or losers here on the show, we highly recommend checking out the final few games of the tournament, as the final few series unquestionably feature some of the highest level Dota play ever witnessed. So, you can imagine the matches are well worth watching if you're even remotely interested in the game or esporting in general. That brings us to the end of another week of Valve News. Remember to subscribe for more videos, news, and reviews coming soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.